Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this highly anticipated webinar on templated data quality and master data governance. Amber, can you move to the next slide? Yes. So the agenda that we have for you today, and we are going to discuss on the challenges in implementing master data quality and master data governance solutions. We will also discuss how templatized approach to data Zen helps to improve the data quality and data governance. Also, we will talk about the benefits of the templatized approach for data quality and governance. Before we delve into the fascinating world of templatized data management, I'd like to take a moment here to introduce. So Chainsys is a 24-year-old organization headquartered in Lansing in Michigan. We are about 1,500 people strong, having global presence. So we have our offices spread across the globe, and our offshore development center is in India, in Chennai. And to demonstrate our commitment to excellence, security, and compliance, Chainsys is SOC compliant, CMMI certified, HIPAA certified, ISO, GDPR compliant, assuring highest standards of quality, security, and regulatory compliance to our clients. So let me now turn the time over to our presenters, Shivasamy Durai from Biomarine and Anbarasan Murugan from Chainsys. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Shivasamy Durai and Anbarasan Murugan. Over to you.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks again for the opportunity, Caroline and Boo, to come and talk in this webinar on MDM. This is one of my passionate subject as I've been working through various industries and solutions over my career. So I'm here to talk about the challenges as an organization we went through before and during the implementation of an MDM solution or pre-implementation of the MDM master data management solution. So Anbu, you want to keep going slowly, the challenges, the general challenges, and then I will cover some of the challenges we specifically had on the Biomarine side. So in terms of the variety of challenges we had, I want to highlight these top two. The top two challenges what we had was around the data quality and the data governance. So I want to like any data that is not of good quality in our systems, ERP systems, or any transactional systems, the subsequent downstream transactions are going to be posing operational challenges. So having a good data quality on the master data is a key for the successful ongoing operational excellence. So so that is one. I mean, before we walked into the implementation, the data quality across our enterprise data, like customers, vendors, items, there were a lot of data quality issues, and like due to all of that quality issues, we were very challenged in getting any operational efficiency or excellence in our downstream processes. And then the second one is the governance. The governance part. Before putting a solution like an MDM kind of a solution in place, there was no clear RACI across the organization how to manage or enrich or govern the data. So so they were like teams who were not very much aware of the data, end up managing some of the data, and that was kind of contributing to the quality issues. And the teams who should be reviewing and approving the actual data, they were only doing the entry part, but they were not in the approval part. So we had all this misnomers across the governance team, and that was not proving very well in terms of the whole data management part. So that is one of the bigger challenges we had, and also call out a couple of other generic challenges. The integration. So even though over the years integrations have improved and is being getting matured, but there is always challenges when we are moving data from one system to another system for a variety of reasons. The data structures are different, data hierarchies could be different across environments. So a lot of time the challenges we run into is keeping the data in sync across all these systems, and then making sure every system is talking or referring to the same master data, and also not having a good integration strategy or a good integration methodology, end up having duplicate data across the variety of system. And the next one is the cost and resource management. So typically organizations, they all passionate when they start MDM project, but uh, like I've seen in the organizations I've worked, it was always an overhead, and they start the project with a lot of eagerness, and then over a period of time I've seen things gets diluted, and people go back to the old manual process. So it was always a challenge to, even though the organizations know there is benefit in managing a good master data, but like it's unless companies have successfully adopted and seen the value, it's hard to kind of tease out the ROI. And so we always had challenges in getting commitment from the senior leadership on the cost and resource management. So the and we'll go ahead, yeah. And the last one I want to call out is, so any solution we had in the past, like we thought, okay, we have a solution to manage it, but within few months or sometimes even weeks, we have seen, because of our business challenges, like the amount of data volume or the scenarios we have to adopt to scale up to the data needs, whatever the solutions we have put in place have was substandard. So we got to keep up. If you are a fast growing organization, having a solid platform and a robust data strategy governance is very important for scalability and performance to support the organization growth. So these are some of the general challenges that organizations face when they're venturing before an MDM solution. Now I'm going to talk about some of the specific challenges what we had within BioMarin before adopting the data Zen solution. So I think one of the key challenges I want to call out is our business users were spending hours and hours of time correcting data because of the variety of quality and governance issue I was talking earlier. Like first of all, the data that got created had errors, and then subsequent updates that were happening into the data was not happening in a governed fashion, and due to that there were always master data issues which used to delay our downstream shipments or manufacturing processes, and constantly our business teams are working with the technology team to resolve the data or mass update the data. So this whole vicious cycle used to be a kind of an ongoing thing, and it used to kind of frustrate our business teams that it was constantly impeding the progress of any operation excellence project that we slated to do. And a couple of other challenges I want to call out was onboarding, like a new master data, like customers or an item. It used to take some weeks, and sometimes there are times we have waited for data to get across all the different systems for months, and eventually delaying the revenue process and manufacturing processes. So and also like we had like multiple email approvals, e-form approvals, and the data was not all gathered in one place. The data gathering was happening through multiple mechanisms. Like some used to be through email, some used to be through SharePoint locations, and some we had for some e-forms. So when all of these were coming together, obviously it was not all coming in a very organized fashion, and so which again ended up in data quality issues. And overall, as a company, we were getting like a poor experience. I mean, in some cases, we were delaying our downstream processes like our shipments and manufacturing. So across the organizations, this particular challenges was felt, and that's when we were looking seriously for an MDM solution, and that's where changes came on board to help us out to alleviate these problems what I talked about. Anbu, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Siva. This is what exactly we talked about several years before with the Biomarine team.
Yeah.
And so good morning and good evening to everyone. This is Anbu, and that's the challenge we received from most of our customers. The Biomarine is again a very prestigious customer. They gave this challenge, and also the implementation time is just we got only 6 to 8 weeks to prove enough this particular solution, and then that will be a go for the life. That's how we get into, and successfully we are into more than 6 to 7 years with this solution. And how we resolved it using the data Zen. So first of all, I would put this platform, we made it as a low code and low code, which means so I have a templates where I can go and we can choose so what exactly the business wants to maintain or govern the data. It's the same way we applied, and we offered the standard data models and standard business rules and the request process workflows, wherein, as you was stated, so the challenge on the workflow side, onboarding process itself, there are several workflows for each and every bit of a change. If I change a small value in currency, that needs to go for 6 different approval, and for the address may need to go for another different round of approval. So all this complexity, wherein even in the request process and the data quality too, to check either duplicates, and we need to maintain all the referential data aligned to the master data. So all we put together, and we implemented the standard data model within a few weeks, and showcased on the UAT and business sign off from the Biomarine client. Okay? And also in addition, so we have a couple more options how that helps. So the standard screen layouts. So earlier the team used to do it in a e-form or SharePoint, and this screen layouts they can design such a way, very simplified way they can customize it, and they can start entering the data, capturing, defaulting, and validating, and also sending all the notifications to the users whenever they change any data, right? And business users got a more confident to work with data Zen platform after we gave the first phase. And what happened? So this helps the business team more interactive way to the system. Come and touch the data. They'll system itself guides a lot how to fix and how to enrich the data. All the proper governance were put so that the data is onboarded in a pretty much decent quality, and then it will go for the approver. Approver will go and do additional checks to make sure this data is good enough to go to the next level. They'll make sure everything, and then finally simple button, the data will automatically integrated into the Oracle ERP systems. So this supports multi-domain application for the purchase order, and all the master data with vendor and the customers. So everything it's supported. and built-in integration engine. That's where so powerful to this platform DataZen. So this can talk and read to the system to integrate it, and inbuilt data harmonization and standardization engines. So we implemented the address standardizations and the business rules by default. On top of that, there are several custom built rules is requested from a by my client, and we implement it. And AI-based data cleansing and the algorithms which are available. So we used, I would put 30 to 40% of this particular algorithms are used on this project, and maintained a built-in data lineage. Out of box, the data lineage is coming out for the TCA architecture. Even if it is not a TCA architecture, the common data model which helps to build the data lineage too, and supports the bulk upload and update, and matrix approval is ready, and built-in reconciliation and clear audits are available. So once we start putting up, so the day one onwards, the business team start seeing the results. So they don't need to go and check with the IT team or someone else. So everything is very transparent in front of the system. So the requester or the business custodian or stewards or to the data owners, they can go and clearly check what is happening in the system, and they can add up all the SLAs. How long this particular request took a time of requested, and approve it, and how, when that was integrated into Oracle, and how many times and which field is getting edited very frequently. So all these information is out of box. It is getting from the DataZen that governs a lot to the data. And the security side, that's the most concern is raised from the client, saying that how the data is securely stored and maintained. So we have everything, and who can view what by the user or user group, the responsibility device, everything is available, and the data encryption and the masking which are available, and the operational security on the record level, everything is available. Finally, the auditing and the logging, who touched what, so when. So all these are out of box, so getting out from this platform. And AI and ML enabled. So how we done it? So for this implementation, solving this particular problem. So the template is automatically identified based on the data. So we went and scanned through the data and provided which template and what are the rules are really required to implement this particular solution. So that's a jump start, which is 60 to 70% of time saved, and within a first week itself. So we come to conclusion that what is really required for this implementation. So that's where this A and ML enabled platform helps for this particular implementation. I go into the next one. So what are the domains which is out of the box available? So we have the products, customers, suppliers, equipment, finance, hierarchies to build, bills of material, formulae, recipe, routing, and price list, and custom built. So we took customer domain, and we implemented for the biomarine, and scanned through the data. And we have the team is already put up all the nice workflows and the e-forms. So everything is matched together. Within a week, we completed all the requirement, and template was chosen and deployed it. And I believe so, like within a 4th week or 5th week, so we could able to cross the configuration section. And UAT was pretty much speedest way we delivered to this solution. And how I done it? So we have a built-in template for all these domains, whatever domains we are seeing here. So we have a template for all the enterprise applications. Either it can be a one-on-one or a combination of common data model, which we have it. So that's going to given and deployed. The very step is number one step. I'm going to deploy a template. From there, all the lookup object, nothing but all the referential object. If we take a customer master, customer type, or customer credit limit check, and customer warehouse and operating unit, and all the needed lookups or relational data models which are automatically created and data also get synchronized. So where I can go and tidy up the data zap, that's a tool internally used for this data zen as an integration purpose. So that will synchronize all the data, so bring in a real or near time from the source system or target system into this data zen application. And then next step, it's going to create a master object. Master object can be a one-to-one or one-to-many with customer, address, build to, ship to. So where we can create a common model as a very simplest way, like one or two objects, or I can create a complete end-to-end TCL model. That is pretty much possible, and we can easily configure it. And not just I mean when we implement it, maybe a question comes up like, how I can add a field or how I can include a new object. That's all part of a platform. I can do that. And once that master object is created, finally it's going to create a request object. So master object is done, and the request object is going to be created, where it's going to ask a question to the users to capture all the informations. Once request object is created, and we'll go and assign to the respective user, start filling the informations, and that will go through the workflow, and finally it will reach all the way back to the source or target system. That's how the data model configuration from the template it's going to be. So this saves a lot of time for any given project. The template is going to be jumpstart from 50 to 60%. And in case, if it is going to be, there is no customization or there is no, anomalies wherein in the source system, it's going to fit enough for 80%. And adding additional custom fields or custom objects, pretty much quickly we can add it up. If I go to the next, so what I'm going to show here today, how I done it for this bioman. So the data architect user decides, what is the data model and how I can do the data governance, and design to who can request it, and stewardship is going to be collect the data, and approvers are going to be approve it. Finally, it's going to reach the golden hub and integrated into the target systems. It can be any number of systems, all real time it's going to happen. And also the data is going to be back to synchronize into the system. Okay. So with that, I'm going to show how I done this solution to biomarine. Let me log in into the trial system. I'm going to log in into the user Anderson at changes.com. All right. So this is the data model which I configured for this demonstration. So customer master. Let me go into the design studio. So the data model is built with two objects for this solution, customer and address objects, and the workflow also configured with the approval and the data collection. You can see very simplest drag and drop. It does this within a few hours. This was configured, and the governance is going to be start from the requester. I'm going to log in as a sales user, and then we'll get back how I configured on the technical side. The salesperson is the user is assigned for the requesting a data. Where it comes down, this is where the clear picture about where the particular request is fall under. If I take here, this 360 was approved today, and what are the activities in went through, more transparent, and who done it and when that was done. So all the these screens are out of box when it just to configure from the template. Now the next step, I can go and find it out which are all drought status means. So I can create a record which I don't have much information to initiate it. I can keep on collect all the information in a draft status. Once draft is complete and it's ready to go, I can initiate it. So let's go and create a new request using this button. So when I go into the new request, it's going to ask me to search either the record is already available or not with a variety of parameters like customer name, number, alias. These can be also customizable based on our the demands. Now I go into search something like customer is exist or not. So I put entry. doesn't find anything. So let's go and create it. So we go here. It's going to ask a couple of the red parameter, which is highlighted to be filled by the user. And also for this particular user, the couple of fields are already defaulted. I can still go and modify it. Customer category, profile class, payment terms, and currency, and most of them are defaulted. I'm going to feed the customer number. So you can see it, the customer account number is defaulted by, we can do any smartness on the customer number, like based on the operating unit. So we want to prefix or suffix, we can do. I'm going to feed the entry. Ask IMC car. Yes, I'm going to say last call. Payable. And the credit limit, I'm going to say 50,000. And the contact method is going to be email. See, person changes. Save, and I can add address to. I just saved. The draft number got created with 711. I can go here and add an address. Address number is going to be 325. Transportation zone is defaulted. I'm going to pick it the address 325 South Clinton Street, Greenwich. So this is powered by a G API, and site name is defaulted. I can change it. It's going to be my build to and the zip to, and very simple. I can save and close this. And finally, I'm going to validate it. It's going to validate everything. So the validations are success. You can see it. And the very next step, I can go and submit this request. I just press the button submit. The submit is done, and it's going to be for waiting for the in collection. So quickly it went to the queue for the next person for the global finance team to take a look at all the credit informations and to review and approve it. So with that, I'm going to log in as a global finance to perform the data collection part. So here I'm going to choose this and go here, the request details. I'm going to review it. I found this particular thing is wrong. I'm going to reduce this to 25K of USD dollars. And I found this alias name is not a registered one. I'm going to change Costco Corp. Save and close this. And also I can go and verify, website testcensus.com. And I have a SEC code, say ABC1234, some random number I'm providing here. Save, and same step, validate, and I'm going to submit this particular one. The validation part is done. So this particular user can view it. So which are all entries are completed already. And we can look here. So Global Finance took a 1 minute of time to complete this job. I go into the next user, the final user conversion. Census.com. On this user, I'm going to review and approve it. So this particular request is waiting for approval. I'm going to choose. Validate. And here I can do the comparison view. What is changed? So before I approve, the credit limit was lowered down from the 50K to 25K. That's how this Biomarine solution works. So the reviewer got a good amount of information to approve and review quickly. They can go and edit it, and the SIC code and the website, everything is modified. The customer name, the legal name itself modified. Everything is listed here. I can simply go and approve it. I can either send a reject or completely this particular record is wrong. I can reject and stop the workflow. Or if not, I can send back to the requester or the salesperson or send back to the global finance to fix some of information. I can send that to. I'm going to approve it. The approval is completed means the data is going to be moved into the final hub, into the golden hub. We can see it the car that was created and it is moved into this global hub. And still, if I want to edit something, I can go and edit it. So that again, it will go into the route of the approval. So the modification can be go in a different route rather creation. So in the Biomarine, how we put almost 10 to 12 different workflows were configured for the creation of a customer, adding a new address or adding a new bill to or site change or a contact, or if in case the global community team, they want to change something, everything can be routed. I mean, everything is conditional based routed workflow we configured, and based on that particular field changes, the workflow take and to the respective users are the responsibility to approve it. Now with that, so what I'm going to show, so we did, in addition to that, I'll go to the accents and the match and merge review in the glimpse, how the match and merge results are shown to the business users. So the group of records are, duplicate records are glued together or put it into the duplicate group. So here there are 32 groups, we can see it, and out of 118 records on this particular object. So, and we have review information, so who changed and what was the decisions took. So for the past, 7 days or 30 days. So the count wise we are seeing. So in deep, when we get into the review section, we can see in detail now what was the changes done. And also we can see it survivor and eliminate how many are from this particular object. That I'm going into the review section. So sample of records, I'll go to the customer level, and it's a intelligent, the matching engine helps to identify our group together with the fuzzy logics are applied for the naming or address information. Respectively, the engines will go identify the closest to matches and provide the information. And here you can refer it to technology and supplies, matched with the SUP dot and linked in Singapore PT dot and FO's manufacturing limited. Some of the standard, the abbreviate standard keys are removed by default from the algorithm side, and it matched. And I can go and take a one-off record. So here we can see it, two different addresses. So but the customer name is same, but the addresses are two different. So the address line one is say the 64 Fifth Avenue, and the city is McLean, and another one is the 55 Riverside Avenue. So both are identified as a survivor. In case these two are identical, what happened? One can be a survivor, another can be a eliminated. System intelligence to say to the users that these are two different addresses, and that's supposed to be append into this particular, this particular survived customer. You can go and say markers reviewed, the review is completed and reviews changed, and I can go back and do the next process. So that will take this particular E&R into the next level. So also for the manual match side by side comparison also available. I can compare the records side by side, and if I want just a drag and drop, I can move it to the different group. So that I can do. I have to do it proper. Yeah. So I did. So simply that record is moved from one group to the another group. So also I can bring back. I can do that. So to the different group. Yes. So we can, I mean, the users have the capability to move the records from one group to the another group, or if they want to identify, I mean, either one is a survey, still they can use the group, or if not. So I want to make this particular record as a survivor, I can go and choose the move to new group that will, move the record into the next level, next group, which is, I can choose that as a survey. So all I can do from this one single screen, and this is the rules are configured. If you go to look at here, the level one, the customer name is the algorithmic, and the address I put variety of parameters: address, one, country, zip code, city, state, with the different weightages. System is finding the right grouping records and give us the groups with the duplicate ones. And minimum of credit limit, whomever having the credit limit is a minimum, that's going to be eliminate, and others is going to be survey. That's a simple rule. I configured it in here. And let's go back to the review one more time. And this is the dashboard, gives always there for the users to check it. And the next step, it's going to be on the cleansing side. So the cleansing is giving me, two different addresses. It's going to validate either, in case of any mistake, it will be corrected. If not, it will be, fixed. So here we can see the count T is wrong. I mean, I made it as uppercase, and the city is wrong, and zip code also found wrong. So that got standardized. The wrong data was standardized and provide the right information to the user. And I can simply go and take a review it. That's it. The cleansing is part is done. That's simple, the UI screens we offer to a customer. They are taking all these actions pretty quick. So that's the, I mean, this is the overview I want to give it on this demo. So for more details, we have several webinars are coming up, and there are several videos which are available. You can refer it. And with that, so I would say we solved all these problems using data Zen. So data quality, the templatized approach. So based on the data itself, template is getting ready, and the rules also getting ready. Meaning, we are not going to put any generic rules or data quality elements there. So whatever the data elements are captured and maintained so long years, and how users are treating to it. So that intelligence, gaining a that intelligence, learning into the data system and offering a right template and right set of rules. So that gives to fix the data quality and data governance issue upfront, using the template. Number two, the data integration side, it's out of box. The data is getting integrated with n number of systems. If you are bringing multiple systems in this our primary case, so it's pretty much we handled integration very real time, and the real time data is going to be go back and forth, so that the users can take a quick decisions from the ERP systems. And we implemented this particular solution pretty much within a stipulated time of 6 to 8 weeks, and went live within another couple of weeks. So we went through, and this solution scalable, and any customization, it's pretty easy. I can go and do it. And solving other problems, volume. So we have a good benchmark to handle large set of volumes, and the onboarding process, everything was clear and very transparent to top to bottom, from the management to the business, and then to the IT team. Everybody can see what is happening with the system, where is on the customer on board, and why it is waiting for any discrepancies on the data, or any governance failed, and all these informations are right upfront in the system to take a view and review it, and that can gives to improve the additional data qualities and bringing all the governance. So this is a step. I mean, the template is going to give 60 to 70% of jumpstart or push to the system, I mean to the business to start thinking on the other side rather thinking on the old traditional data governance or the data quality stuffs, and helping in lot ways for the business in terms of capturing a data or correcting a data or maintaining this master data. Overall, this data is then templatized approach, helping a lot to solve most of, I would say, 80 to 90% out of box. This template helps for all master data problems for any given ERP or CRM systems or a common data. Okay. So with that, so we'll go into the benefit section. Maybe Siva, I think you are the right one to talk about, what are the benefits after I was there to implement with the data as a product, what are the benefits you got out there?
Sure, Anbu. Like Anbu walked through, I want to call our benefits in two aspects, right? One is something the benefits we had around the time of implementation, and then from an operational ongoing perspective, what are the benefits we are realizing? I think the three things I want to call out around the implementation time was it was a super rapid implementation. I mean, I think we were pleasantly surprised, like how we can pull off such a big implementation in such a short frame of time. So I think the templatized approach, what Anbu was talking, is what we inherited, and so it was all plug and play, and we were able to go on an agile methodology and configure things and course correct it. All of that was much easier. So and then Data Zen came with strong integration capabilities to our ERP system. So we hardly spend any time validating data going across systems, because it is all well integrated, well tested. So we, from a customer side, our testing for integration efforts were I would say very minuscule. So we didn't really spend. So our main focus was to focus on setting the governance right, and rest of it was all kind of coming out of the box through DataZen. And given all this, we already had a much a solid platform to scale up from whatever growth we were going to go into in future stages. So that was something we realized right at the time of implementation. And from an ongoing perspective, operationally, the benefits we are realizing is our data quality have improved enormously, and our onboarding process overall, sometimes it's just few hours. It's only the time it takes for the data entry to create a request to onboard a customer. So it's so fast, and also it took less people to manage this overall data, because as long as because during the data entry process, all the rules are all in place, so there is no back and forth. So all the errors, all the questions, all of it is asked at the data entry level and was all defaulted. So it's much, the overall data entry and governing process became much more, and the amount of calls the technology group got are getting is hardly any, because the business have a strong solution at their disposal, and they are able to manage this whole MDM solution on their own. And whenever it comes to technology group, it's a very a rare occurrence actually. So and also the overall efficiency and the operational excellence, all of that have a top notch when it comes to the solution. So I think those are some of the highlights and benefits I want to call out. And whoever is thinking to venture into this journey, you won't you're stepping into the right direction. So that would be my strong recommendation. Thank you, Anbu and Caroline. Again.
Oh, yeah. Over to you, Caroline.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Shiva and Anbu, for this insightful session and walking us through your experience and also sharing how Data Zen can, help the templatized approach can help with all your, data management, data quality, data governance needs. So let's move on to the Q&A session. Okay, I have a couple of questions coming in. Shiva, let me ask you the first question that goes out to you. How long did the implement take with Data Zen?
Yeah, like I think Anbu answered that in the session earlier. So our whole configuration and the testing took around 6 to 8 weeks, and then for the biomarine team to do the training and taking it to go live took another 2 to 3 weeks. So start to end, it was like 3 months. For the customer master and Data Zen. So that is all the time it took for us to start the conversation with Chainsis about this, and then going live and start using the solution.
Perfect. Anbu, I think this is for you. Can you create the template for custom column or custom entity?
Oh yeah, obviously. So I mean, the Changes offers out-of-box template for all the master data. In case if I want to maintain a expense management or other, the master data, which is purely a custom build. So we have, the Excel framework where I can go and configure, what are the fields and what type it is. I can configure and I can upload it to the system. That will give a MDM TL file, which is a MDM template file that can be used. The business user, they can simply go and use, what are the fields they can, choose and go for it. So within that, also in the custom template, I can write different validation rules, what needs to be validated and what needs to be defaulted. Everything can be configured. So the custom template also it's part of a product. I can build any master data into this template. Right. Okay, thank you. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
the question.
Yeah, I have another question, Anbu. I think this is for you as well. Can you elaborate on the AI ML accuracy when it comes to bilingual data cleansing and validation?
Thank you. That's a good question, team. So the MIAL, that's evaluating, we are doing. So last year we started, putting together on the match and merge engine and the cleansing engine. So the multilingual side, so comparing, that there is a transformation is happening today. So we are into that mode. So I would say 50% we completed all the R&D side. Say if the customer is, enter the data in the German language, Spanish language, and some of the customers are, entered in the English language. So the common medium, the data will be transferred. Say for instance, English, we are taking that in a common, data model. This, the German language will be transformed to the English, and the cleansing and the matching, it's going through. So we are using, a lot of internal APIs which is a growing law. I mean, we are doing that API. We are developing and trying the system in much better way. So now today, the multilingual is we successfully tested on the naming company names or the naming attributes, wherein we are yet to travel on the side of address elements and other elements. So hopefully, that will be cracked and will be soon the APIs will be available with us to do complete data zen will be a multilingual data cleansing and the match and merge engine. And I like to add up on that. The question is really great question on the MI and AL. So today we train our system almost. I would put in a way that 60 to 80% system is trained with all the company names. Whatever the standard ones that we train. Even the addresses also we train and other attributes like for the material some of the wide range of attributes also trained. So that gives, automatically which dictionary it needs to pick and choose to do the cleansing. So that, and sooner than, this M&AL will be seeing on the front end too, like, when a user is step into the data zen, so all they can, just to choose one or two fields based on their previous data entry or, similar data. So all these attributes are going to be defaulted, and the data entry, or even I would say very no data entry. So now we are claiming no data, no code, low code. Now we are going to say no, the no data entry at all. It's going to be a representative, either voice oriented, or it can be, just a few data entries. The entire screen is going to be filled based on the previous data entries or symbols. That's the training we are, giving the system today. That will be soon with the data and team. Thanks for the nice question, and over to you, Caroline.
Okay. I have another question for Shiva. How did you manage the change management to implement the solution?
Yeah, so I think that's it's always a challenge, like a transformation like this. It was not easy. The fortunate thing was, so we had an end-to-end order to cash transformation program already that was in place. So we leveraged that program because then customer master was the first thing that we have implemented in DataZen, and we kind of piggybacked on that end-to-end program to do this MDM transformation. So, but any organizations who are trying to venture into this, it would be good to start talking about change management from the get-go of the project, because training and all the new it does take time to settle into the new processes. So it would be because a lot of time what happens, people go live, or during the go live they bring in the change management group. My strong suggestion would be that would be too late in the game, so try to bring in the change management as early as into the project. And that's what we did, and that's how we found success.
Fantastic. We have another 2 minutes. I think let me club all these questions for Anbu. Thanks, Anbu and Shiva. That was a great presentation, sharing your experience. Can DataZen integrate with other custom ERP finance system? Does it support regional flavors, for example, in EU, Europe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good question. Yes. So any localization is possible. So it's IE18 enabled, and ERP. I mean, we have a custom data model as a templates. Okay, either we can use it, or so we can build a specific template to that particular ERP system. So even if it would be to that CRM systems or ERP systems, or any in-house built systems. So that also can be easily, templatized, and we can jumpstart to start building this data zen. And localization, pretty much out of box, and the rules can be changed. I know even in if you bring a PAI, based on the California, or GDPR can be for the Europe, so those can be out of box. It's go and help the business. So this data zen is a very global product, and we can implement a very globalized, even Biomarine, we done it as a globalized, most of, the Ireland and the Europe teams are working, and, so it's out of box, localization is nothing to do. I mean, we don't need to spend a lot of time on the configure. Everything is out of box. And also we can restrict based on the localization to what field, and, what is the record they want to see it, or, which user wants to enter the data. Everything can be configurable. Okay,
thank you. A couple of questions coming in, but I'll make sure that I have them all answered and sent to you. And I think we have closed on the dot. Thank you so much for joining us today for this insightful webinar featuring our esteemed speakers Anbu and Shiva. We hope you found this presentation valuable. We have more exciting events and webinars lined up for you in the future. Stay tuned and we'll be reaching out to you via email on our upcoming webinars, including the highly anticipated webinar on Data Fabric next month. Thank you all once again for your active participation. Wishing you all continued success and innovation.